Yeah.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the WAG Pod. Hello. We have our guest here, Ashton with House of Dogs. Thank you so much for coming on. I met Ashton after I did the episode with Baden Jackson, and then House of Dogs had followed me, and I was like, oh, I've kind of made it. You know, it was good. It was a good feeling. And so I reached out, and Ashton's definitely become one of my good friends since moving to Raleigh. So it's always nice, like, you know, being around people who also care a lot about dogs, but also like, or you know, when you're in a new place and you meet someone new, can be there for you. So yeah, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah. No, we've definitely gotten close, and I'm excited to be here. So.
Yeah. So if you want to go into a little bit, what exactly is House of Dogs?
Yeah, so it's a dog ice cream bar and bakery. We started in August of 2023.
Okay.
And just a backstory, my mom and I used to own a luxury lash and skincare boutique in Florida.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so...
That's sick.
And she's my best friend, so we always do everything together. And we moved back to Raleigh, and she was like, what can we do that has to do with dogs? Because we have two dogs, hence the logo.
Saint and Sammy, right?
Yeah,
and the logo's a combination of them, is that right?
Yeah. So she was researching, and then we researched together. And there's different concepts of House of Dogs. In different states, but there's not one in North Carolina.
Okay.
So it's a dog ice cream bar and bakery.
Right.
And then we have a lot of local retail. I try and like source things that are small businesses that maybe don't have a storefront yet.
Sure.
And anyway, I was folding towels at the yoga studio, which is right there.
Yes. Yeah. Is it Smoky Hollow is the area that it's in? Is that right?
Yeah. Smoky Hollow.
Sick name for an area.
Yeah. Dose is it's up and coming, but I was folding towels there, and it was the smallest space, which is 1,000 square feet, and that's literally all we needed. Yeah. So I said we have to have this space, and we had the concept, and so we just put everything into it, and I'm here now. Yeah,
and you're here on the podcast now. That is awesome. So when you first opened up, was it an automatic, like, we have a lot of clients coming through the door, or was there like a lot of marketing and different stuff that you kind of had to do?
We cross-promoted with a lot of vets, and I would, like, West Street's right there, which is a dog bar.
Okay. I've heard about that. Yeah.
I had a lot of networking prior with Tyler that owns Madre, which is across from me.
Right.
He's a great mentor.
Yeah.
I go to him for advice for sure.
Yeah.
Emily that owns the yoga studio that I used to work at.
Sure.
I asked her, I'm like, what do I do? And
like, how do I do this? What's going on right now? And, that's how I feel all the time.
Same. Still feel like that. But yeah, so...
Basically, like, all those people kind of mentored you around. Is that, like, kind of a group that's, like, pretty supportive in that area?
Oh, yeah. So, Smoky Hollow, all of the owners are pretty close, I would say.
Sure.
Like, if I have any questions, I need advice, they're always there to help out, especially because this is either their second or third business, and this is like my first baby.
Sure.
My mom and I's first baby.
So the one in Florida was that more your mom kind of running it and you're helping, or like what was?
No, so I was an esthetician by trade.
Yeah.
And then I went to Europe and trained for lashes.
Oh, nice.
And then came back, and she has a background in aesthetics, so we kind of knew what we were doing.
Yeah. So it was because it's a completely new, like, concept, but you were like, we love dogs, we want to try this out.
Yeah, so I didn't know exactly business-wise.
Yeah.
Now, the business itself, the concept, I'm comfortable with.
Yeah,
It was like,
the business,
it's
like,
just different.
behind the
it's
scenes.
Bigger. And Smoky Hollow, that's a big girl space.
Yeah.
So
that's good, though.
Yeah.
That's something to be very proud of, you know?
for sure. But with that being said, we are really entrenched in the dog community. We have a Facebook page that is called Raleigh Doodle Romp, and there's almost 5,000 doodles on it.
Oh my God.
So, yeah.
Oh, is that what was going on earlier today?
Yeah.
You want to talk a little bit about that? I remember your mom had sent it to me.
Yeah, so Tyler that owns Madre, as I said before, across from us, and he also owns the Moon Room and Happy and Hale.
And that's where we met. Tyler's a bit of an entrepreneur himself, isn't he?
Yeah, he's super cool.
That's where we met at Moon Room.
Yeah. It was an awesome bar.
Yeah.
But he decided he wanted to open a pop-up dog park. Ollie Pop sponsors it.
Oh, yeah.
And then
I've heard of Ollie Pop.
Yeah. The pickleball court, which is next to it, Lululemon sponsors that.
Yeah.
And then he owns Happy and Hale, so he did like a mini shipping container.
Nice.
And just to get people in the Hollow too, because it's a new development and we want people in there. So he was like, let's do some marketing together.
Yeah.
Let's cross promote. And so we're going to have like a bunch of like little meetups, different, I don't want to say breed meetups, but
sure. You're accepting of all breeds. You say that, right? You're a very accepting person. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get that on the
Doodles
record, right?
was first. Yeah, Doodles was first because I have Doodles. Tyler just got a puppy, Stevie, who's a Doodle.
Okay. Hence the Doodle meetup.
Yeah, and so we did the Doodles.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what we'll do next, but we're definitely going to have a lot of events in the future.
How does a pop-up dog park work? Do they just bring a bunch of stuff in, or what exactly is that?
So it's pretty much, it's just temporary, is what that means.
Yeah. But I feel like a dog park's like usually kind of bigger. Like, is it easy?
Yeah, that's why it's a pop-up. There's nothing downtown for dogs to go, like, off-leash.
Yeah.
So you would have to drive 6 to 8 minutes to like Dorothea Dix or JC Park.
It'd be nice if it was just there in the area, right? You
just
could go to one of the places. Yeah.
So it's just temporary. I don't know the end date to that, but we just wanted somewhere for the dogs to go because the Line and Cortland on Glenwood South used to be Peace.
I'm pretending I know where these places are, but I know where House of Dogs is, so that's good.
It's above us and then above Publix right there. There's so many dogs there. That's like, we've built such a community with those people. I have people come in every single day.
That's amazing.
Just to hang out or I'm like, you don't have to buy anything.
Right.
Let's just build a community.
Just exactly. Come in and it helps if they buy something. I mean, that doesn't hurt anything.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
No.
So how many people do you think you have coming in each day now?
Honestly, that's the thing. I ran a report and there's there's no consistency.
Sure.
Like some Tuesdays I'll be busier than a Saturday.
Right.
I think people just feel guilty from going out all weekend.
Probably. And also Saturdays are like pretty busy. They might be traveling or doing stuff. Like Tuesdays, like you've gotten past your Monday and then you go and Tuesday go in. And so I know you said it's ice cream in a bakery. Do you want to talk a little bit about like what that looks like? Yeah.
So right now we used to get our cookies from Canada.
Cool.
Yeah.
Not anymore. Not with the tariffs.
Yeah. So, also, we've been looking for someone local as well because obviously the whole thing is to like support the community. And I found literally 2 weeks ago a woman that makes iced dog cookies in Raleigh, and they're so beautiful. Yeah. And I was like, yes.
Now, do you taste these cookies before?
No.
We don't do that. You can be honest here.
They smell kind of good, but I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. But I'm switching completely to her.
Very cool.
Yeah, she's great. She came in the store randomly a couple weeks ago, and very sweet, kind of coy, and then she was like, oh, by the way, I make cookies, and I said, you are mine, like I need you, because I saw her work, and I was super excited about it, but speaking of dog,
ice cream in-house too, is that right?
Yeah, so it's 3 to 4 ingredients, just depending, lactose-free whole milk, gelatin, salt, and then we'll do like blueberries, blend it, strawberries, whatever.
And a secret ingredient in there too, maybe.
No.
Perhaps. Okay, no, it's fine.
Who knows? But speaking of the community, actually before we opened, I forget if it was a week or two, Jen, which is a dog walker, Peace Street dog walker, came up to me and was like, hey, I want to paint a mural on your wall. You know that black outline one? And I was like, okay.
Like, sounds good.
I don't know you, but this sounds good. I'm just going to trust you because you know when people say they can paint.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. But she painted 3 local dogs that she walks, which is really cool.
So cool.
Yeah, so when they come in...
That's good marketing right there.
Yeah. She's awesome. But everything in the store is kind of curated for like dog lovers.
Yeah.
And building around that.
Yeah, and I saw it's at Pet Creativo.
Yeah.
First try.
Yeah, she's cool too. She's in Raleigh.
Yeah.
I'd
reach out. Yeah, but I'd reach out her too. So y'all do like kind of a partnership consignment kind of thing.
Yeah. So basically, the shirts that are already made, like my dog thinks you're a hoe.
Yeah.
No, I have rabies.
Yeah. For dog moms.
I know. I walk
into dog dads, right? Yeah,
I know. I know. I walk into Publix and I'm like.
I think it's funny though.
It is funny.
They're cute.
And then on the side, she does she has like where you can upload a picture of your dog.
Yeah,
and it's the exact replica, and it's embroidered.
That is so cool.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
I want to do Saint and Sam.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Well, might as well combine them.
Again. Yeah. So
what other kind of brands are you working with in your store? Like, what is your ultimate goal? Just to continue to build a community kind of around House of Dogs, or?
Yeah, I'd say, so I'm 27 now. By 33, 34, being realistic, because I didn't realize how long upfitting, permits, all this stuff takes.
It takes forever, especially with the food, right?
Yeah, so I want to have 3 locations.
Nice.
Really want to have one in North Hills as well.
Yeah.
But as far as brands go, Social Hound, she makes our bandanas, our shirts, like House of Dog shirts.
Yeah.
And some of our keychains too. She has been one of the best vendors. So supportive.
Yeah.
Been there since the beginning. A great friend now, and just like, definitely a beautiful human. I will always rep for her.
Yeah, of course.
She deserves the best. She also works with a beagle rescue too.
Oh,
so
cool.
because she has 2 beagles.
Yeah.
The Social Hound is her thing.
Right.
But.
And so I guess the idea is over those next couple years, maybe in North Hill, maybe somewhere else.
Yeah.
Build your own little empire.
Yeah.
Dog empire. Now, we had talked about this the first time we met. I think I may have had a couple of espresso martinis, maybe some tequila. So I
didn't drink at all.
Yeah, for sure. Anyways, we talked a little bit about why do you spell it House of Dogs, and you had a good story with that.
Oh my gosh, because House, House, is so boring.
Yeah.
And we wanted like a little German flair, but not Haus.
Yeah.
So House, but with an A.
Are you German?
German, French.
kind of something.
Something
like that.
There's
some German in there.
It's in there for sure.
Yeah, of course.
No, I'm German, French, Irish, Scottish.
Yeah.
Very English.
You're all of it.
Yeah. So my mom actually came up with the name.
Yeah.
And I looked at her and I was like, that's brilliant.
That's perfect.
I love it.
Yeah.
But we just want a little twang to it.
Yeah, something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that like working with family? Because you've done it before, obviously. Do y'all have how do you balance that work-life relationship?
Okay. My mom, so side note, I dog sit like 25 days out of the month.
Yeah.
So I live with my mom.
Yeah.
She's also my best friend. We're also the same person.
Right. And you're not even there. Like, it's like you're always somewhere else.
But, people, it's so funny because regulars will come in and they'll be like, are you guys okay? And we're just shooting the shit.
Yeah.
And that's just how we are.
Yeah.
We're very, she will always be there.
Yeah.
Anything ending in my life, anything starting, it's always us two together.
Right.
In the end.
That's really cool.
And yeah, she's like my soul.
Yeah. That's amazing. And you're in the store most of the days.
Yeah.
Right?
So she has a full-time job now. There was just no point in both of us being there.
Sure. Until you get your second location.
Or third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
50th.
50th. But yeah, so she does that, and then when she's off of work or when I'm off work, we'll talk about inventory. We're gonna have a meeting every Monday because that's when we're closed.
Sure.
So we'll talk about inventory, new things, people to bring in,
right?
Stuff like that. But it just works.
Yeah.
And people think that we're being, besties and shoot the shit.
You're doing it on in front of the camera so everyone can see.
Yeah. And we're like, no, we're great.
Yeah.
And
they're like this all the time.
Okay.
They're like, for sure, yeah.
No.
That's really cool to have a relationship.
We're really
like that.
close. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess speaking of new items, we're bringing in some new items. Yes, so excited.
I'm excited.
So I guess a little background to this, like I think with Wagworks, I've wanted to have like several different ventures, as exploring different options, like doing this podcast in a shed, right? And like
it's a vibe.
It is, it's all right. We probably need to spruce it up a little bit, but so with our like merchandise project, we've had working on some hats, and I think we're going to be partnering with my brother-in-law's brand, Burglar Brand, to do some shirts later down the line. Yeah. But then I was like, my really good friend Anna, aka Anna Banana, and then my sister Maddie, aka MG Designs. They both have made jewelry, and they're really, really good at what they do.
So cute.
And we're going to be like kind of launching in there and like figuring out all the logistics of that. But like, I'll just say like I'm very appreciative of like how open you were to like bring it in. Like we want some of your jewelry in here, and that was like really cool. And like I think so Anna has a dog, Chloe, and they ended up doing something different. But they're like they were telling me about this place. This was before I really knew, and like. Yeah, like there's like ice cream and there's stuff.
Oh my god, wait, they knew before?
They knew before. So they were
That's
like
cool.
looking. They just they like to go out and eat and out and do their fun adulting stuff, I suppose. But she was telling me about that, and then when it happened, I mean, I can't say how excited we were. Like I was texting in the group chat with John and Maddie, and and like I'm so back and forth between Winston and like so my sister used to make these little like. Badge reels, I don't know, whatever it's called. But basically, she'd worked in the hospital, and like people have little badge, so she would make custom like dog ones, and that was like her thing.
Wait, that's so cute. Yeah,
so she had really enjoyed doing that, and then like it was funny. She'd always send it into our family group chat, and like I was trying to be like if it looked a little off, be like you might want to tweak that a little bit. And this time, I was like, all right, we're actually like working together on some jewelry stuff. I was like, I might, I'm gonna be pretty blunt with you about it. And she's like, good. Yeah. So I think having that opportunity and somewhere to put it, because it's not like, as of now, right, as Wagworks grows, hopefully, North Carolina and bigger and bigger.
Grows.
Right. Yeah, sure. But as it does, that gets things like jewelry and shirts and all that tend to get more awareness. But it's not like that's our main seller or anything like that. But it's really cool just to see, like...
Well, it's exposure, too.
It's exposure, and I think you just being, like, willing and excited about it really got, like... My sister and Anna, I mean, Anna's, done amazing stuff, and she's, like, works at Carolina.
She's very talented.
And my sister, like, she's an SRNA, like, nurse in ESTA school right now. And it almost, she was doing some, because she did it before, but she almost got, like, really, really excited and into it. And she was sending me, like, okay, let's do this for the next one, or let's do this for the next one.
That's
and
sweet.
So, like, definitely just want to say thanks for that. Like, that's something really cool that, like, whether or not you knew, like, you didn't know that. And it's kind of cool to see, like, the impact.
I also didn't know you.
Yeah, true that. I was not either.
Okay.
Yeah, you're like, it's cool. Yeah, because I had we had reached out, and, it is. I think, like, you're doing an excellent job. It's hard to be, hard to do something new and challenge yourself and, like, come on a podcast and do stuff like that. But, I mean, you're doing great. And just in life stuff and in House of Dogs, I'm just very proud of you for everything.
Thank you. I know, I'm proud of you too. I think also too, for me, and I've told my friends this, that we're either opening new businesses now, because I'm so experienced. They were just like, how do you, what do you, I don't understand how you're doing it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's only scary until you're in it.
Right.
Like, I'm not fearful now.
Right.
Also, I would have been more fearful without taking the risk.
Right.
Because you would have never known.
Exactly.
And it's only scary when you're thinking about it because your mind makes up so many things.
Oh, of course.
But when you're physically, in reality, in it, it's...
And you're actually, like, going and doing it.
Doing the motions. Or going through the motions, yeah.
Exactly. And I think, too, like, especially with, like, dog care, dog sitting, all that kind of stuff, it's a lot word of mouth. Like, you can advertise and put out flyers and stuff like that, but, like... if
they don't like you, they're not coming in.
Exactly. They're not, they're not going to do that.
That's why I don't have employees, because I'm like, nobody's going to love their dog like me.
I think I'd be an awesome employee.
First employee. No, you'd be great. But yeah. Oh, and back to Anna. So the mama one, the necklace, I want that too.
Yeah.
Because that was really cute.
Yeah. Well,
she should put a little tiny paw print next to it.
Dude, I have no idea how jewelry works, how colors are, and they're like telling me. I was like, well, you just let me know. We got it on the website. Yeah. It looks nice.
No, it's really cute.
I think the concept that you've done, well, it sounds like there's intention behind it, but even without, you're just really focused on building a community. Community first, dogs 100%. First. And I think when you come in with that mindset ahead of time and know that, hey, this is my goal, and you're realistic, hey, it might take 5 or 6 years to open 1 or 2 more House of Dogs because we have a lot of work ahead of us. But at the same time, you're coming in with the intention and doing it the right way and executing well. I don't think anything's stopping you from continuing to grow.
Yeah, I think also too, outside circumstances, life and stuff like that, you can't let it really affect, this is more important than anything else.
Right.
In the end, I'm not going to let any obstacle come in between that.
Right.
I will cut it off, cut people off, anything.
Do what you have to do.
If it has anything to do with affecting my baby.
I think, 100%. And I feel that same way about Wagworks, with, I mentioned I have OCD and dealing with thoughts or, that kind of stuff. And every time, I'm worrying about something that I don't need to be every time, I just remember hey, I'm hopefully doing something that will have an impact, and I don't want to let, like you said, other stuff coming up.
You are doing something
already. Right, exactly, to an extent, but...
I'm just going to change your perspective.
Yeah, that's right. But, same with you, I think that's such a good mindset to have and to put yourself out there and take risks and everything like that.
Well, also, if nobody helped me...
Right.
I'm... Not that I'm the end-all, be-all, but I want to help people get to where they are, and I want people to help me.
Right, continue through different routes and stuff like that.
Everybody can have a different success.
Right.
It's not competition at all.
And that's the same thing. There are so many people in Raleigh itself that whenever it's I see other dog walking stuff or people who are starting their own dog companies, I think that's exciting. I would happily have anyone on the podcast to talk about their services because, there are so many dogs to be taken care of.
McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's right next to each other.
Exactly.
I mean...
And then Wagworks buys them all, but, it's
it's
whatever.
I eat all of it, too.
Yeah.
But, no, I think also it has nothing to do with the service. Anybody can walk a dog.
Exactly.
It's you.
It is.
And I believe also, whatever you're thinking continuously, if it's negative, that's going to pour into your life.
100%.
And if you think positive, everything good is going to happen because you're in that mindset.
Exactly. And, also when you're, reflecting on past experiences or, whether with clients or this interaction with this person and stuff like that, if you come out of it hey, I learned something, or hey, this is the mindset I'm going to have, you're going to be able to be so much more free and happy in your life.
My friend Frank, he was my mentor when I lived in Florida. Yeah. And I was just so cynical, which I am a little cynical, but
a little bit.
But for fun.
Exactly.
And he looked at me and he was like, why don't you do this for a week? I did it for an hour. But why don't you do this for a week? Think of things as it's not good or bad or indifferent. It just
it just is. Yep.
That's it. Because it really is. We think of things, they're bad because that's how we view it.
That's how our mind works. Yeah. And I think it's kind of cool also how who knows if Frank remembers that he told you that, but that's something.
He does.
Okay. He knows he told
homie.
you.
Yeah.
But still you'll have conversations with mentors and it could have just been one thing they said, but then you're
oh my god, yeah.
You're
working on it.
You're yeah. Wait a minute, that was actually some
and they're
good...
I just pulled this out of McDonald's toy box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad it impacted your life. He told me that literally 8 years ago.
Right, and you're still thinking about it. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love Frank.
So moving forward, kind of, what's next for you? I know you said you're booked out about 25 days a month. How have you have a lot of those clients come out for, or come from House of Dogs, or is that just friends you knew in the area?
Yeah, so essentially it'll be 2 years in August, but before that, obviously we did the upfitting. I was in the hollow, inventory in the hollow.
You're the hollow.
We call it the hollow. If you're the who's who, it's the hollow.
Yeah. It's
but yeah, so I started I have a completely different, except for a couple people, group of friends, and
In terms of just like interesting or like
well,
separate
we just
from
like bonded so quickly.
Yeah.
Because they come in every day.
Oh,
before
like
they
friends
moved, because
right.
half of you guys moved and built a life or whatever.
Yeah, it's like whatever.
But with that being said, I would like start watching their dogs, and then they would recommend me to one of their friends.
Yeah.
But I've never watched anybody's dog that's not a friend of a friend.
Right.
It's not anybody
that's like,
or anybody that hasn't been in House of Dogs.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to. You have to establish trust, like, before everything.
Yeah.
And, like...
Everybody's dog, though, that I've watched has been so cool. Also rotten to the core. I'm like, they all have this... Like, Winston that I'm watching right now. Yeah. Obsessed with him. But his best friend, Cass, who's down the hall...
Yeah.
Obsessed with him.
Yep.
Just in different ways.
Yeah.
And I haven't had, like, a bad experience.
Right.
Every dog that I've watched... is spoiled and just
I think that's what's cute. So enjoyable too.
I sent you the videos of Winston.
Yeah, that was funny. You did a little voiceover.
Yeah, he's gonna be TikTok famous.
One day. So yeah, I mean, I think that's also what's interesting about taking care of dogs and doing that kind of stuff on the side is like that brings you a lot of joy. At least me personally, like on the sides, and it figuring out like what are the little, like Cedric for example always goes rah rah rah, rah. Like he just makes that noise. You're like, what do these different dogs do? And like
they're all different. They have human personalities.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So yours, you said Saint and Sammy, right? Mm-hmm. So how are they in the store with you during the day, or what is that?
No.
So they were just there for the photo shoots.
Yeah. Saint is a Saint Bernard poodle, and then Sammy is a Bernese Mountain Dog poodle. Mm-hmm. So they're around 100 pounds each,
big fellas.
And they have pretty much one of everything in the store. So they think it's the house,
right?
And I just can't. Like, I love them so much.
Yeah.
But my mom will be like, should I bring him in? I'm like, no.
Yeah,
Let's wait till we close, because Sammy will try and, like, eat all the cookies.
Yeah.
Eat all the bones.
Right.
Put his head in the ice cream.
He owns the place, isn't he? The CEO?
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah, so, but, they do not. I wish they... Originally, we really wanted them to, but then we thought...
It's going to be a little bit too much to manage,
yeah,
right?
If they were 20 pounds, not 200.
Right.
Big difference.
Right. So, I know that you have, like, kind of a... I don't know if it's like a partnership or, like, Pup Park Shuttle.
Yeah.
What does that look like for you, like, when they're coming... Because they come in and get ice cream or... How did y'all work that out? Because I remember seeing that before I knew about House of Dogs. It was very cool. It was like... You go 5 times, you get a free ice cream, or you go there, you get a free ride.
Yeah.
What is that? Or what's the...
We were cross-promoting for that, and then he would come still, I would say, like, every couple weeks on a Wednesday, and I'm like, I will bring the ice cream to you, because there's 20 dogs in the shuttle.
Like, we can't even have St. Sammy in the House of Dogs. We cannot be doing this.
With... either you or you and a helper, and even that, I'm like, oh my god, I can't.
Right.
No, he does a great job.
Yeah.
But I just, in the store, it's a different story.
It is.
They get a little
hype. They do, I'm sure, because there's all that stuff around, and it's also your space, so it's like, this is the best way to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now I just bring the bags, drop them off. I'm like, have a good day.
Get a little picture. Like,
yeah,
it's a streamlined process, right? Like,
it's too much.
It's what works best for you, kind of deal. What is it? Is it like every 5? Do y'all still do that? Like every 5 rides?
Yeah. So I basically gave him a bunch of cards last year, and so he'll just give it to.
Cool.
Yeah, like a free ice cream, and then.
That was one of those cards?
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, thanks.
On the 10th ride, that's his thing, so I'm sure he does that still.
Sure, yeah.
But I just gave him a bunch of cards, and then he'll just give them, and they'll come in, and it's really cute.
Yeah.
So.
And then that's like another person, like once they're, what is it? The, Costco rotisserie chicken. I don't know if you've heard about this. Basically, it'll relate back to itself. Okay. But like, so Costco has super, super cheap, I believe, rotisserie chicken. Or like they also have like $1 hot dogs, right? And so that brings people in, but then they're in Costco and then they shop for everything else. So my point with that is your little free ice cream is your is your rotisserie chicken.
My ice cream, yeah. So that's
it brings the people in, but then
right.
you have so many other things going on.
Yeah.
Maybe it was your concept that you made, not Costco. Perhaps.
Who can know?
Well, I have no idea.
I was here before them.
Okay. Well, perhaps.
Yeah, but yeah.
That is a smart way of doing it. Was that kind of intentional? That you know that the ice cream is probably what was going to bring people in, and You
have to have one thing that brings people in that you're really good at. Like, jack of all trades is not my move.
Yeah.
Some people can do that. I want to be successful at one thing.
Yeah.
And then have little things around it that bring in revenue. So
how were you able to figure out that was your kind of best style or something that's going to work with you?
I have no idea how I got here. my mom, though, she used to work for Google and like the indie magazine here, the Yellow Pages back in the day, and she's always been very high up. Managing or GMing like Massage Envy, all these different places.
Sure.
So she knows what to do, how to sell.
Right.
She's really good.
Yeah.
I try.
Do you feel like you take a lot after her, or do you feel like you've been able to kind of design your own like leadership or business style?
I'm learning to now because she'll come in the store and I'm like, Mom, what? And then I'm like, no, we're business partners.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It is difficult to separate the two because it's still my mom, my best friend.
Right.
But then
that's a triple split: mom, best friend, and business partner.
Yeah,
that's a lot. But it has to. I mean, that's pretty hard to compartmentalize each of those. Like you can't.
But I have to like respond, not react.
Right.
So we've both learned so much together. I mean, we've laughed and cried and oh my God, it's been a journey. But she's definitely helped a lot with. Like the marketing aspect of that.
Right.
I'm great at the designing and like the Instagram. I do all that.
You do have a very nice Instagram.
I do.
I'll tell you what. I don't. You can tell mine is run by me. That's
no. I love it.
It's getting better.
I love it. And then she gives me. We'll collab on ideas.
Sure.
But then I'm like the visual.
Right.
So she's somewhat of the brain part, and she says,
"Oh, you're definitely the brain part too."
Yeah, we collab on that.
Sure.
But she's
like
cross brain,
cross partnership brain.
I can't visualize how that would look.
Yeah.
But then, like today, she came in the store, and then she redid some stuff inventory wise, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, she's messing with stuff." But then I came back in the store from dog walking. And I said, "Oh, this is so much cuter."
Yeah,
we just bounce.
That's kind of nice to have that little like back and forth relationship. And I think like understanding your strengths and weaknesses is a good, a very good, especially when you have like a partner. Like my partner Kellen's like, he knows how to scale business. He's just like almost a savant when it comes to that kind of stuff. Exactly, but like sounds like a similar sense of like. You're really good at networking and reaching out and talking to people.
She's so good at that.
She's good at that too.
Oh my, so much. That's her thing.
That's her thing?
Yeah.
But I feel like you're also like the one building relationships with the Smoky Hollow people, right?
Yeah, but see, she's been doing it longer.
Yeah.
So I'm learning from her and kind of adapting.
And then you using that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still, like, it's good to have that kind of back and forth.
For sure.
So I know, I was looking at your Instagram, you have couple dog mom photo shoots coming up. Is that right?
Assorted poppy photos.
Yeah.
So that one passed like last week, I believe. But we're doing like we always do themed photo shoots like Mother's Day, Christmas,
when did y'all start doing these?
I think probably 6 months in. Honestly, it was pretty quick.
Right.
She actually was there. No, sorry, October. Because we opened in August, October, she did a free one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my God, it was the line out the door. Because it's Assorted Poppy's photo.
Yeah.
Her name's Ashley. She is so good at taking pictures. And she's quick. Like, they listen to her.
Right.
They don't listen to the owners or me.
Right.
She just does these.
She just dog whispers.
She knows, yeah.
And is this a friend of yours that you met and just decided to kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. Now. And I don't think I'll ever use anybody else.
Right.
I'm just so loyal to people, too.
Yeah. I have noticed that. Like, that's definitely, like, a theme throughout.
It's hard for me. I'm like, no, I don't want to use another photographer.
Right.
No offense to anybody else. It's just because we've bonded.
Right. And
you've
had the comfort, and you've worked together, and you've seen that work, so, like, why go different? But I feel like it's also good that you're open to bringing in new, businesses and stuff like that.
But I still have my
your little core squad.
Yeah. I just can't get rid. But yeah, she's great, and the next one we're gonna have is gonna be in October again.
Right.
For the Halloween, we'll probably do a contest again. It was.
Oh, there was like a little dog costume contest.
Yes. Oh, we had dogs in Target shopping carts. You know how it looks like they're pushing one?
Yes.
It's hilarious.
Dude, I was shopping at Trader Joe's when I first moved to Raleigh, and I was looking down at my phone. I was like, "Yo, this is awesome!" Like, yes. And the cashier was like, "Yo, you watching the game right now?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" And I was looking at a picture of a dog in a Robin costume, and I was like, "I'm gonna have Cedric as Robin and me as Batman. I think next year."
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
We had a fashion show
last
year where they walked.
Yeah,
it was the cutest thing. But
so, how often are you all gonna be doing those pop-ups? With the Ollie Pop, that kind of thing? Because I know you did the Doodle. Are you trying to do a couple different more?
We're going to get together and do different things. Maybe we're going to definitely do different breeds. But we're trying to collab and do something different that nobody else has done.
Sure.
And Tyler is such an eccentric.
He's a tycoon.
Thing. Yeah, he's eclectic as a thinker. So who knows what we'll do. But,
yeah. Cool. Well, we'll be on the lookout. Just kind of wrap it up. Last couple questions, what has brought you, the most joy about what you do every day? And then kind of going off that, what is some advice you would like to give to people who maybe want to take that leap and start their own business? Yeah, I think, like I said, it's only scary when you're not in it. Right. And I think, too, having a support system is huge. I could have not done any of this without the people around me, the community, all the people that are now really good friends that live fairly close or at the line. Cortland Inn, which used to be Peace. We're just, like I said, they come in every day. I wouldn't be able to do it without them. And as far as what was the other? Just kind of what brings you joy, your day to day, Oh, I look forward because we're on a schedule. Yeah. I know Mike's gonna come at 4:30. Right. I know Mary's gonna come. Oh, so you have clients who are coming in at each specific. Yes. That's pretty cool. Probably because we're a little codependent with each other. Yeah. But we just talk about life and I've also looked up to Mary. Just a sidebar. She owns a kids art studio called Hello Yellow. Cool. She opened her second location in North Hills. Yeah. Yes, I'm vouching for you. She's an amazing woman, and I just want to do a little shout out. Yeah. Because she's one of my best friends now, and she's helped me a lot too with advice because she's been open for almost 5 years now, so she kind of knows what to do too. Yeah. But I think what I've gathered from this is you're appreciative of all the mentors and people who support you on the way, but you're not just taking that and moving on. You're taking that and you're like, hey, I am building this community. I also want to help other small brands, and that's a very unselfish way of looking at things, right? Because you could just take that and focus on you all the time.
Oh, sure.
Working with all those other people, I mean, it's pretty cool. So
we're like a little cult.
Yeah, a dog cult. Yeah, precisely. But excited to.
We're gonna work together.
Oh, of course, yeah. Maybe I'll just work in House of Dogs. I think that's nice. My dad tells me I need to get another job probably, so Yeah. But I really excited for our Anna Banana and MG Designs and Wagworks House of Dog collabs. And thank you so much for coming on today.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Yep.